the new norm that we're at right now. I apologize if my video starts to freeze up a little bit. If it does, I'll definitely, just so one of y'all start to yell at me or start waving at me or something like that. But anyway, but yeah, that's, I guess, one of the parts of the norm is to conserve bandwidth, I guess. You could also, everybody do me a favor and just go ahead and mute yourselves, so that way, there's no background noise there for everyone to be able to hear me. All right, so welcome to Randolph Cross Country. This is definitely an interest meeting and information meeting as well. Typically, this meeting usually happens in the middle to late May, but because the athletic department is wanting to do, doing survey/registrations pretty early, so that way, we can get rosters figured out, we can get uniforms figured out, all the stuff we need to get done early. That's the reason why they're doing those registrations now. And that's why I'm doing this meeting so early. We are hoping that we can definitely also recruit as many newbies as possible. I know a lot of you that are on here right now are probably returners. And I actually challenged, just a few minutes ago, the indoor-outdoor track kids to basically do our recruiting for us. They all needed to try to find one person that's in their friend group to ask about maybe trying cross country or trying indoor, trying outdoor track. But right now, of course, we're talking about cross country, and trying to see if they want to come out. That's how I got started. I didn't get started until my freshman year of high school, and that's what it was. And my buddies were doing it, so I was, I definitely wanted to go out there and try it with them. So, that's where I'm at. I've been in it now for well over 20 years. So, all right. So let's keep going. All right. See if this works. Yep. No, it's not wanting to share the screen here. 1 second, guys. Also having some technical difficulties, so just 1 second. Well, my PowerPoint's not wanting to work with me right now, so.
Do you have it in presentation mode, Twig?
I don't, but I'm figuring it out. It doesn't really matter. So if you want to try. So I'll just go over this so I don't waste everyone's time. So real quick, so obviously I'm Coach Twig. Right now, as far as I know, I've got Coach Kruger, which you just heard, coming back, and Coach Ortiz coming back. So right now, right now, there you go. Perfect. Okay, so there's our contact info. Obviously, I've got my cell phone number on there, and email. If you can, if those that are new that don't already have those pieces of information, please make sure you get it down, because here in a little while, I'll definitely have you guys be doing something with it in a little while. So, all right. Okay, so first and foremost, all right, the health and safety and well-being of each student and coach are at the forefront. All right, and obviously plans going into the 2020 cross-country season. And all right, the health and well-being, of course, are definitely the first and foremost thing we're gonna worry about. Obviously, a cross-country season is way distant second. All right, so, but as of right now, Thursday, April 16th, per the Alabama High School Athletics Association and Governor Kay Ivey, we Randolph coaches cannot hold in-person team practices or group meetings, and that's basically as it is right now. That's the mandate, and once we know, you will know when things can change. The hashtag running is not canceled. All right. You can definitely get out and go for a run. All right. That hasn't changed. All right. But all right, no, a coach cannot meet with you to orchestrate a workout, regardless if it's with one individual or 10. All right. We will be sending out training plans for each of you to follow, with training to be logged digitally. We'll talk about that in a little bit. All right. Those training plans will be sent by email. All right. Obviously, we'll go into that here in a little bit. All right. Takeaways that we don't know when we'll be able to begin holding traditional team practices in a group setting. All right. We are hopeful that if everyone in our community, keeps working with trying to flatten that curve, all right, we'll be able to get, back started sooner than later. All right. All right. Move forward. All right. So those that are brand new, I don't want to go too in depth on this. One thing is I will send this out in an email. All right. So you don't necessarily have to be reading all of this. It's just kind of a definition of what cross country really is. All right. And how the team aspect is. All right. So you definitely need to have 5 members on your team, 5 members that finish the race. All right. And those 5, their places. All right. The places that they finish in. All right. You add those places together, and that gets your team score. So if team A has a 1st place, a 10th place, 12th place, 14th place, and a 20th place, all right, their team score is going to be about 57. All right. Team B has 2nd place, 3rd, 5th, 18th, and 21st. All right. Their score is 49. In cross country, unlike other team sports, though, the lowest score is the score that is the winning score. So add those up: 57, 49. Team B is the winning team. All right. Of course, there's other aspects of it. What if you have more than 5 people on the team? All right, their places will still be in the results. All right, but they just won't count towards the team's score. All right. You also have your 6th and 7th runners. They're considered displacers, and you can read on that and understand their importance as well. All right. So that is how team scoring works in cross country. It is a team sport, even though everyone's kind of doing their own thing. It is definitely a team sport. It's just not a ball sport. It's a team sport. All right. So what do we do for now? All right. So basically, until the shelter-in-place order ends, every Sunday night I'll be sending out an email to training plans each week, starting from Mondays all the way to Saturday. That's when you follow it. All right, you'll receive that first email this Sunday, April 19th. All right, all training to be posted on the app Strava. We'll go into that in just a little bit. All right, but it's an app that you'll download. Create a profile, join our club, so on and so forth. All right. What our typical summer looks like, though, it should be right now June 1st to July 3rd, 31st. But remember, that is not right now what we're doing. All right. We are still in shelter in place until they tell us we are not. And even then, that may not be 100% accurate. All right. But it's usually Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All right. We go to Montesano, 7 to 9 a.m. Transportation is provided for those that need it. Leaving from Drake at 6:40 a.m. All right. Coming back to Drake campus at about 9:20. Tuesdays and Thursdays, you'll follow the training plans and run on your own or with teammates, and strength training with Coach Gaunt. All right, usually every Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., June 2nd all the way to July 30th. Once again, that is not something we're following right now, but that's just a typical summer, what it looks like. All right. Okay, we're talking about the Strava app. All right. Let's see here. So Strava is an app we've used, I think, the past 2 years, I believe. It was created more for the cycling athletes, but runners can use it as well. It's definitely set up for runners. Essentially, you have, like I said, all the things before. You create your profile, you upload your training onto it each time you run. All right. And then you can have it there so that way you can actually link it to our actual club. All right, Randolph Cross Country. And that way coaches can check on you how you're doing. Athletes can, check on each other, even be a little competitive with each other. And if worst case scenario, if you don't want it to be seen, we can talk about that, negotiate that as well. But right now, that's what we're doing. That's how we record everything. All right. You can ask questions later on once we get to that point. If you want to be jotting it down, I guess not into the messenger yet, but maybe on a piece of paper if you have a question about it. All right. Talk about our team uniform. That's one of the reasons why we are trying to get registrations done so early. Cross country does things, and indoor and outdoor track does things a little differently than all the other sports. We actually have a custom uniform we've been using for the past few years. It actually is the same uniform as the 2016 Olympic uniform that the U.S. Olympic team used in the 2016 Olympics. It's a custom-made, sublimated uniform that it takes a long time to get. It takes about 3 months. Coach Kruger and I order these uniforms usually 3 times a year. And it's actually getting close to the end of the lifetime of this uniform because, well, it's supposed to be the 2020 Olympics with a new uniform coming out. And we may actually be switching here towards the end of this year or going into the next, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway, so the competition uniform is what we've been talking about. That is the girls' singlet and the shorts that they wear. All right. The logo is not quite exact, but that's the girls' uniform. All right. You'll get an email on how to order all this stuff once everything goes live, ready to go. All right. If you already have this from last year, you are good to go unless you've lost it or destroyed it or grown out of it. There's the boys. Yes, the boys do have the option to do the compression short instead of the split leg short. But we're trying to move the needle in terms of the boys. We need to go one or the other. We don't want both of them, meaning like having the compression short underneath of the split leg short. It does, to me, it's way too much clothes for you to be able to get your hips to be as flexible and as movable as you need to be. All right. So it's either that short or the track short, the track compression short, I should say. All right. And for your warm-up stuff, now this stuff is not sublimated. This is all screen printed or embroidered. All right. So it's actually a little bit easier to get, a little bit quicker to get. And this will be, like has been done in the past, to be done through the BSN Sports, the My Team Shop. Our sales rep, Austin, he's been great to work with so far, and he is actually already working right now on building that shop for us. We've got some great ideas. I know a couple moms have asked me about some things, and I may have to revise it a little bit once it actually goes live, because I'm sure I forgot some things that they've talked about. But anyway, that will come out pretty soon as well. All right, so we'll be on the lookout for that in the emails. All right. Talk about communication real quick. The My Randolph, that's essentially, it's our emails. That's how we're using, it goes through the My Randolph platform. That's something we've been doing the past year or two, not using our Yahoo or personal email accounts. Talking about also Dragonfly. That is going to be something we are going. That's something we've been using for the past 2 years now. Alabama High School is really going all in with Dragonfly, especially with all the eligibility stuff, but also for communication. I think we're going to eventually start getting our cross-country team to that. All right, but we're not quite there, not quite ready yet with that. But for right now, we are using GroupMe. All right, so I'm going to start getting the cross-country GroupMe together, taking people out from last year and putting, graduating people out from last year and getting new people into the new GroupMe. So we prefer only student cell numbers in that team group, please, if you can, moms and dads. We can definitely create another one if we want for a parent cross-country GroupMe, but right now we'd much rather just keep that just the students only. All right, moving forward. All right, let's talk about the what race you'll run. All right, if you're a brand new 7th or 8th grader, that's a good bet. You're probably going to be racing primarily the junior high races, which are typically 2 miles or 2.1 miles in length. But if you're a ninth grade to 12th grader, you'll probably be running the varsity team in the 5K, or also known as the 3.1 mile race distances. All right. So, yeah, ninth graders technically can run junior high races, and that may be instances here and there if it allows. If we don't really need the ninth grader at the varsity level, we can definitely look at possibly having them run in the junior high race. But unfortunately, 10th through 12th graders, you have to run in the varsity race. That's an Alabama high school rule. All right. End of the season, though, if you're selected to be, one of our varsity top 10, which is selected from grades 7 through 12, in metro, sectional, state, which are all going to be 5K distances. So you're essentially training. Even though some of you are going to be racing the 2 mile or 2.1 mile races, you're training for the 5K. All right. So everyone's basically doing the same stuff for the most part, but you're training specifically for the 5K. All right. Now this is just a sample because I don't have this together yet, because a lot of things could change between now and then. We typically don't even have our schedule ready to go until really end of June, early June, or middle June at the earliest. So this is just to give you an idea of what our schedule was from last year. Like I said, with the pandemic as it is, who knows what it's going to look like, come our actual competing season, which is late August. So a few takeaways from this. All right, a few takeaways, or just one main takeaway is that typically it's usually we start in late August for the competing meets and stuff like that, and it goes all the way to state meet, which is usually the second week in November. But last year we had 8 Saturday meets, 2 Tuesday meets, and 2 Thursday meets. So you had 2 Thursday, 2 Tuesdays, and 8 Saturday meets. So kind of a mixed bag when it comes to when, where, and what. So this just kind of shows the last 3 meets that we did during the cross country season there. And like I said, those last 3 meets are basically the 10 or so people who are going to be competing at those levels. All right. Forward. This is just a history of the program. Like I said, you can peruse this when I send it to you. We've been on the podium a lot the past, I don't even know how many years. So at least 2005, looks like from 2005 to 2019, we've had somebody on the podium, or one team on the podium at some point. So either the guys, girls, or both, whether it be getting a state championship trophy or a runner-up trophy. This year's going to be a little bit tougher because yes, we are now in the 6A division. We're in the 6A division. We are by numbers, we're a 3A size school. You add in the multiplier rule, which is multiplied everybody by 1.35, I believe. That puts us into the 4A division. And then because of all the success that we've had, all right, we've been thrust into the 6A division now. So for the next 2 years, this is where we will be. We'll be in the 6A division. All right, we'll go into that much later. That's not something we need to be worrying about now. Social media, I'm the one who runs that. Hopefully it's all good. Hopefully I'm not putting anything up there that people are not happy with. Let me know if it is good content, or if it's just not stuff you want to see. Just let me know. My feelings don't get hurt. I'll take it down or change it, whatever. All right. But please do help us promote the program if you can, especially moms and dads. Share these. Comment on them, so on and so forth. All right. All right. Talking about the philosophy. All right. So essentially, you have your pyramid. You got your base training phase, got your build-up phase, and then you got your peaking phase. Of course, the base training phase, essentially is where we're at right now. It's typically only about 3 months. So essentially, start from early June all the way through until late August, maybe even a little bit into early September. Now is going to be a long time. I mean, you're looking at almost 6 months, and probably more like 5. But it's more of a collegiate type of base training phase that we're going to get this year, which I hopefully will actually help with injury, help with actually getting people strong enough aerobically, fitness wise, rush, to really do a whole lot of anaerobic stuff. But, definitely something that could actually work out for the betterment of it for us. So that build-up phase is typically, like I said, we're starting that, sometimes during the summer a little bit, mixing in some fartleks, mixing in some intervals here and there, but definitely goes into September, all the way up until fall break. And then, of course, right after fall break, that's when we really start sharpening the knives and going after it right there and peaking and then going down to state meet. So, all right. Okay, so like I said, one of the reasons why we're doing this so early, trying to start thinking about fall sports, is for you all to start, looking at what fall sport you would like to do. Hopefully you want to do a fall sport. Obviously, we hope you choose cross country. All right. Even if you were on the team last year, it doesn't mean I shouldn't be trying to recruit you now, of course, as well, to come back and be a part of the program. So, like I said, you can always make another choice and do something else this year, or do nothing at all. But we're hoping, obviously, we continue to keep the people we've had, and of course add to the family. So, all right. And you should have gotten those links from Coach Davenport and Coach Ward. I know that there's two different links. There's one for the Rising 7-8, and there's one for the 9 through 12. So the Rising 9 through 12. So make sure you check those out. All right, and get registered, and be ready to go. I think those close, I believe, April 20th. All right, I may be wrong on that date. I think that's April 20th. All right. So anyway, here's my email. In the time being, while I'm waiting on numbers and in terms of quantities and stuff like that, and who said yes, who's registered, stuff like that, send me an email so that way I can at least put you on a tentative list of my own. Just let me know that you're going to be a part of the program. Those that are returning from last year, you don't have to do that. I'm just really more interested in people that are new. So that way, I can start adding to that list and start kind of building that list together, that spreadsheet. So, all right. So that's all I've got. Any questions? You guys can unmute yourselves, or if you want to just unmute yourself to ask the question, you can do that.
Has there been a statement regarding Brevard this year from the camp itself?
So I checked on that I think yesterday, and right now I think because the camp is not until July, they're just holding off. But I have a hard time believing right now that that's going to be coming to fruition this year. Zach, I know we want to go. And I want them to be able to have it, but I'm sure that obviously they're going to do the best, what's in the best interest for all the campers, obviously for the staff of the camp, and I'm sure they're at the mercy, of course, of North Carolina's health department, Brevard College, and so on and so forth. So yeah, right now, I would have a hard time believing that we're going, unless a lot of things change. So, but right now, let's focus on the here and now, and let's really start getting our training done now, so that way we're ready to go for the season. Okay. Anybody else? Anything else?
Who's in 6A?
6A is loaded. Honestly, 6A is the most, I'm not trying to discourage you, hopefully it motivates you, but 6A is the most competitive division now. You already had Homewood in 6A, which didn't go anywhere. You already had St. Paul's, which they weren't that great anyway. On the girls' side, you had Coleman, you had Fort Payne, which they didn't go anywhere. Then you have Scottsboro, who came up from 5A. Of course, us that came up from 5A. Who else? I'm missing. Oh, and you have Mountain Brook that comes down from 7A. So in cross country, to say that it's not going to be you know, it's going to be an easy road. That's, man, it's going to be tough. Now our section, now thankfully, instead of 4 sections like all the other divisions have, 6A has six sections. So it does kind of break up the pie a little bit in terms of who's going where and who they're having to compete against to get in. It's still the top 4 teams that qualify plus 6 individuals. Go ahead.
If there are more regions, then does that mean we're still having sectionals at Scottsboro, or will we have them somewhere else?
As far as I know, Huntsville High got 6A, our 6A region, and Scottsboro unfortunately lost there. So that means our section will include Scottsboro. Our section will include Scottsboro, as far as I remember seeing, Buckhorn, Muscle Shoals.
Will it still be held at the Scottsboro course?
No. Like I said, Huntsville High got it. It'll be at John Hunt.
Oh, nice.
High 6A school?
So they will have at least 3 or 4 different divisions at that same sectional meet. They'll have the 7A, of course, with Huntsville High hosting that. 6A there. They'll have. I think they got a 3A there as well.
Okay, that makes sense.
Is Southern Showcase happening again this year?
It's on the schedule. It's on the mile split right now. As long as everything goes on. I mean, so what I did last year, and I'm going to do it again this year. I had our juniors and seniors meet with me during the summertime and during the early part of June, and we basically put together our season in terms of competing. So I'll do that again this year. Maybe it may have to be a Zoom meeting. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, right now we'll probably keep the same dates for the most part, but for the places that we go, I don't know. And Zach, I guess if you're got meets that you really want to go, you need to start politicking with your juniors and seniors. So. Anything else, guys?
Are there a lot of 7th graders that are going to join this year?
I don't know. It's still because of they just sent the link out. So yeah, it'll be. I think Monday we'll actually know who's signing up for what. I know I've done a lot of advertising right now. I mean, I've done a lot of advertising, almost more advertising than I've done in years past. So just all virtually. So hopefully you guys liked my little video. All right, guys and girls. I hope everything's going well. I'm gonna start that Rising 7th and 8th meet here in just a little bit. It'll be most of the same things that I just talked about with you guys. You're more than welcome to come to it if you want, but it's like I say, I'll be catering a little bit more to them. Hopefully, the parents get in there. I'm sure there'll be a lot more questions in terms of just the day-to-day stuff.
I don't think so.
All right, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Like I said, send me the emails that you do.
Lee Thomas, what are you doing here?
All right, guys.
Mom was unmuted. Sorry.
All right. Thanks for coming, guys. All right. I'll talk to you guys later, all right?
Okay.
Bye now.